It's a zombie disaster. You can't ignore this 2025. With the title Silent Shaun. When the zombies in movies not just moving at the same speed as an athlete, they can even catch the plane. It's taking off in seconds. It's even evolved to the point of being intelligent. They can rely on their sense of smell to chase their prey. They even know how to break down old fortresses. The terror of humans. Plot evolution raw SAO. Read the review to find out now. A boy sitting at home watching cartoons. Then suddenly the signal is interrupted. The emergency news starts screen. An unspecified type VI withdrawal. Outbreak all over the world. People who are infected after a few days are no exception. All turned into crazy monsters. This type of virus is extremely infectious. Many cities are 7 in turn. The boy is watching the news. Suddenly I heard a noise upstairs. Courage to go up to check. Turns out it was just my sister's joke. The father is now making a video call. I'm on an outside mission. He told his wife to go to your family's house on the outskirts to take refuge. Because this city has also developed a zombie virus. I saw you carrying a lucky ring. That I do myself. Little Abigail with a smile. I have packed my luggage now. Here outside constantly. There's a lot of heartbreaking screams. You dare not delay. And immediately took the 2 kids out of the house. As soon as I get in the car, an infected person suddenly comes to attack. Abigail quickly hid under the car. I saw my brother get hurt. She trembled with fear. After a long time, I had the courage to crawl out. But now the mother's turned into a zombie. Is getting closer to you. At the moment of danger, a shot is fired. The man who appeared as the savior. Help Abigail out of danger. And then he told her to cover her ears. He shot and killed his brother, who had turned into a zombie. Permeation time elapsed to 15 after. Human society has completely collapsed under the invasion of the zombie virus. The cities that once flourished, it's just a heap of ruins now. Little Abigail is now an adult. Under your training, the one who saved my life was Cassius. You've become a true warrior in the middle. Deep forest. For years in the wilderness. Abigail, always eager to integrate into community life. Your biggest wish is to find a human settlement to live in. But in Cassius's heart, the ideal place to live is an isolated island, far from the mainland. Very quickly the night was falling. Cassius is awakened by the noise from the outside warning system. I carefully stepped out of the inspection tent. Suddenly a zombie came from the darkness. Cassius immediately shot him down. They're both very worried. Because zombies often live in packs. Around, there's certainly a lot of its kind. Before dawn, they quickly pack their bags to prepare to leave. Suddenly your horse makes a few sounds. Full of vigilance, Cassius immediately realized there was danger. Just look around. In the distance, I saw a jeep surrounded by zombies. Cassius wasn't going to get involved in this at first. But Abigail opened fire without warning. Reluctant, you have to kill the rest of the zombies. They both ride closer to the car. Of course, they didn't miss the opportunity to get supplies. Cassius paid special attention to the shoes of the dead. Just finished changing it. I hear a call from a radio in the car. Turns out the bad guy still has a team. They both want to leave immediately. But I can't believe it in the blink of an eye. The off-road cars are coming. A large group, the armed survivors surrounded them. Woman 6 control, and discovered the shoes that Cassius had just changed. They immediately concluded that they were the killers, robbed of. When the two sides are tense, a pregnant woman gets out of the car. Please forgive Abigail and Cassius. At this moment the black horse gave a warning. Soon there came roars from the forest. A swarm of zombies as giant as a flood. It's coming from 4 or 8 directions. People wanted to run away but it was too late. There's only one way to pull out the weapons. There's a female zombie among the undead. Seems to retain some wisdom. It's standing still, watching fellow frenzied plunge into attack. There is no protected terrain. Group of people survive quickly being pushed into a dangerous situation. A tall man bitten by a monster. He tried to kill himself with a gun. I found out there was no more bullets. Abigail quickly helped the pregnant woman into the car. Jeep while Cassius fights and retreats. Kill the smart female zombie here. And kick the GA foot to break the escape ring. In the back of a huge zombie with dark skin. The body of a dead female zombie. He screamed angrily as if he had lost his wife. About Cassius. You brought the pregnant woman, and her husband escaped the pursuit of the monster. After asking about, they know the group of survivors. This is on the way to a settlement called Boat Town. Abigail was immediately excited to hear it. This is where you've always wanted to be, looking for so long. To determine the direction, Cassius is about to drive on. Unfortunately, the car broke down in the middle of the road. The pregnant woman's husband gets out of the car. And introduce yourself. My name is David, and I'm a professional mechanic. However, due to lack of components, this car can't be repaired. There's no other choice, Cassius. And people have to keep walking. Follow the mountain road forward. The group quickly arrived in the city where Abigail was born. High-rise buildings still stand there. But everywhere there was a breath of death. Cassius found a spacious building. Decided to spend the night here. After confirming the surrounding area is not dangerous, and everyone started a fire and sat down. Abigail, I'm curious about what's called a boat town. The pregnant woman said. She had contacted the town earlier by radio. As the name implies, this place is made up of many boats. It's completely separate from the mainland, so it's very safe. There's plenty of water and food there. It's a holy place where people live. Everyone longs to come. Abigail heard, her eyes glistening, but Cassius wasn't interested at all. Instead of dreaming of a crowded place, I'd rather spend time setting up more explosive traps and touch the world around. After finishing everything, Cassius announces next plan. I'll be with David's wife. A section of road, then they will have to break up. Because your destination is a seaport in the opposite direction. Abigail is not satisfied, quietly ran to find Cassius to argue. You don't understand why. I didn't want to go to the boat town. Cassius is very practical. The more people there are, the more dangerous it is, because Abigail couldn't understand the evil of the human heart. Two people have a big fight. Then she got angry and went upstairs to guard alone. But neither of them knew that. The black-faced zombie tracked. Find their abandoned car. It looks like this monster was determined not to let go of Cassius. Early morning the next day, Abigail is flipping through a childhood photo album. Suddenly I heard a rustling sound under the trees. She quickly realized there were zombies sneaking in. I went down to warn everyone. But the road was stopped by a zombie. Fortunately, Abigail was quick to respond, escape the pursuit. But she lost her balance and almost fell. At that moment Cassius appeared again. In time to save her from danger. Not long after, the black-faced zombie leads the flock. But unfortunately instead, they accidentally activate the traps that Cassius has prearranged. I heard the explosion. Cassius was immediately alert. I thought I was being watched by zombies. It was at this moment that Abigail remembered a civilian airport, not far from here. When I was a child, my father used to take me there to play. Maybe there's still a usable plane there. That way, the whole team can cut days off. Even though Cassius didn't really believe in this idea. But to Abigail's insistence, I reluctantly agreed to go there and have a look. After a short walk, People's Airport, the thing she mentioned appeared before her eyes. But the scene in front, make it all out of 7 hopes. The whole area is empty. There was no shadow of a plane. But Abigail didn't give up. She remembered that her father had bought an airplane hangar. The whole group quickly got there, where it's now covered in weeds. It looks like a small hill. After using the old door opening method, they found father's private plane. Abigail is still alive. She is extremely excited. It is rarely shown before Cassius. However, the plane has not been used for a long time. People with experience, like David said, need to check and repair before takeoff. Meanwhile, Cassius and Abigail climbed into a nearby building to keep watch. But they can't sit in the warm seat from a distance. A sea of zombies has arrived. Cassius rushed down to warn Megan and David. They only have 3 minutes to leave. Even if the test is not completed, you must leave immediately. As the zombies get closer and closer, Abigail dismissed all worries, trying to rely on a vague memory to start the plane. It's amazing that you actually did it. But now the zombies are on the runway. They're as fast as an athlete. It's even catching up to the plane that's taking off. Cassius shoots down the climbing monster on the wing, while Abigail is finally in control. Stably put the plane on, General Stitch. From below the ground, zombie face Black looked up. He looked at me with extremely helpless eyes. Inside the cockpit, people were overjoyed. Soon they'll reach the boat town. But right now, there's black smoke coming out of the cabin. Not enough to react. The plane suddenly plummeted to the ground. Fortunately, they were lucky enough that the altitude of the plane wasn't too high, plus significant damping. All 4 of them were injured outside. However, the plane can't be used anymore. They're forced to choose to walk and continue their journey. Unknowingly, they arrive at an abandoned GA train. After confirming the surrounding area is free of zombies, Cassius decided to stay here for a night. Target and town. All boats are on the other side of the mountain. 4 people can still go together. After going one more paragraph to confirm the condition of the pregnant wife, David walked alone into a carriage, pulled up his pants to reveal a grim scar. It turns out that not long ago he was bitten by a zombie. David, I knew that sooner or later I would turn into a monster. He tried to kill himself with a gun, but when I think of my soon-to-be wife, I hesitated and gave up the idea. Early morning the next day, Cassius discovered that David had something wrong. When no one is paying attention, I pulled up David's pants. Immediately saw the zombies bite. But right now, Abigail's pushing ahead. So Cassius ignored David on the spot. The night falls again. They suddenly found a house in front of them. Cassius quietly raised his gun. Suddenly the loudspeaker at the door sounded a warning, confirmed that there is someone inside. Abigail rushed forward to express that they had no ill will. When I found out there was a pregnant woman in the group, the landlord's vigilance immediately subsided. He collected all their weapons and invite everyone inside. I can't believe that here. He's installed a solar system and rainwater filtration system. Abigail, you can finally enjoy a hot tub, relax comfortably and have a delicious dinner. Fully charged Casios for your computer. It's got photos of Chung with his wife. There's even a picture of her pregnant. After seeing the photo, Casios to Megan. Say you've changed your mind. I'll accompany you to the boat town first. And then left with Abigail. Now the host brings wine to everyone. It's been a long time since they had a moment of relaxation. But during the conversation, the whole group realized what was wrong. The owner said, zombies are the next stage of human evolution. He believed they were hunters. The high priest has the right to rule the earth. Just like people before you, they hunt other animals. A group of people who were stunned by this extreme view, while only David is getting more and more upset. He rushed to the toilet. Detect VI withdrawal in the body has completely overflowed LAN. David returned to the living room. I just saw Cassius and the other to passed out. The owner took the opportunity to press the switch on handheld devices. It makes him feel completely helpless, fall to the ground. When I woke up David, I found out that I and my team were suspended. It turns out that the landlord put drugs in the alcohol. Body, his real self is a researcher. Biology after years of research. Nathan invented a special device. It's able to control the VI behavior of zombies by low-frequency signal. And those who give themselves up to the tiger's den like Cassius with teammates, of course, become the ideal laboratory. The owner opened the bat cage. Inside was the wife who had long since turned into a zombie. He tried to turn the switch. The zombie immediately heated and rushed towards Cassius. I can't believe that, thanks to the power of God, David can break the rope. It's also completely immune with the control of the device. He quickly rescued his wife and others. Noticed the unfavorable situation, not and immediately fled. And very quickly disappeared without a trace. Cassius didn't want to stay. I found a car outside. And immediately drove everyone into the jungle. But the landlord is not easy to ignore. He's using a device to control a zombie colony, chasing them at tremendous speed. Cassius pressed GA continuously to accelerate, but who suspects? A tree in front of me is blocking the road. Now they just have to get out of the car. David knew he didn't have much time. I decided to stay in the way. After saying a few short words to his wife, David definitely plunged into the zombies. Unfortunately, your sacrifice can only slow you down. The march of zombies. Little Cassius hugged Megan as he hit and retreated. When they're about to be overtaken by the zombies, the group suddenly sees a human camp. Abigail guessed that. This is the destination of the boat town that they're looking for. The guards in the camp heard. I saw the noise and immediately pulled the trigger. Shoot the monsters that are coming. Blackface zombie leader orders his subordinates to stop because there is a river ahead. They can't get through. Not long after, Cassius and company on board go to the center of the camp. Megan has broken her amniotic fluid and needs emergency treatment. Fortunately, there's a doctor and a full ward. The next morning, Cassius and Abigail's just had a chance to see the whole thing. This place was actually built by linking many large boats together, forming a giant platform away from the mainland. Cassius finally met the leader here. He welcomed them to stay. But they have to comply with a set of rules. Without thinking, Cassius immediately turned his head and left. I feel like I live on a deserted island, still more comfortable. But Abigail was determined to stay. She yearned. Have a life with many peers. Something you've never had before. At the right time, the doctor came to announce that Megan had given birth to a baby girl, but because she's lost so much blood, she may not survive. Cassius hurried to the hospital room. Right now, Megan is so weak that she's almost lifeless. You want to give him your daughter. I hope you can raise it, baby, as he did with Abigail. Remembering his late wife, Cassius finally agreed to Megan's request. I know that. There is a new responsibility on my shoulders. Meanwhile, Abigail is being led by a hot boy. Experience for the first time unprecedented joy. You never thought that in the middle of the world, people can still drink alcohol. Immerse yourself in the music and dance hard. This makes it even more. Abigail is determined to stay here. After the party, she accidentally saw the guy to sneak into the cabin. Curious, you follow me. And it's filled with wires and explosives. The most prominent is a remote control switch. This time the guy here appeared and explained that there's explosives at the bottom of the camp. If one day this plays 7 players, people will flee through the secret tunnel, blow up the whole town at the same time, so there's nothing left. But they didn't expect that day to come so quickly. The evil landlord Kier has not given up the grudge. He's using a control device, teamed up with a black-face zombie. With the help of human intelligence, the camp's natural defenses were neutralized. Monsters taking advantage of the water, or hijack a boat to infiltrate the camp. The guards were stopped by lightning. Tragic casualties. The camp's inhabitants lost their terrain advantage. It can only end up as food for the zombies. Cassio's worried for Abigail's safety. Despite the chaos, killing and looking everywhere. Finally, I also found her fighting on the bon. Maybe because I'm too excited. Cassius' negligence let a zombie push it down the compartment. The wicked landlord now appears cocky. He finally has a chance for revenge. But Cassius was not resigned. He grabbed his arm with a powerful blow. The fragile control device immediately crumbles, losing the ability to control zombies. The poor old man was quickly torn apart by them. Fortunately, this camp has prepared a way back. Many survivors escaped through the tunnel. Escaped to the river over there. When they're about to detonate the explosive, George said to wait a moment, because Abigail's still on board. While fleeing, Cassius knocked down the black-faced zombie with a paddle. At the right time, she accidentally saw the necklace on her wrist. This is not the ring that you made yourself for your father, or Sao. But right now, Abigail didn't have time to think much. She was dragged into the tunnel by Cassius. I see you two are safe. The Kier guy immediately pressed the remote control switch. The entire camp immediately exploded, turned into a giant fireball. But everyone's battle is not over. A man from the camp came up and hugged her. In the previous battle, he was bitten by a zombie. But Vi withdrew yet to act, was knocked down by a black-faced zombie. I can't believe he survived the explosion. Cassius immediately rushed to fight him. Abigail picked up the handgun on the ground. Recognize the zombie in front of you. He is my biological father. But Cassius, the man who raised you, is also in danger. Abigail finally made a decision. Shoot at the black-faced zombie king. After all, he's not your father anymore. Cassius led by group of survivors. Look away at the isolated island off the coast. They decided, we're going to build a new concentration camp for humanity. Here is the full movie Silent Hill. There's no doubt about it. Female zombie gets Cassius. The first person killed was Abigail's mother. I can only say that every scene in the movie was filmed by the director. Extremely skillful. This picture of two people, one big and one small, it's very similar to The Last of Us. Has been shown before? If you see or regret anything, a like and a subscribe to support Vu Review is growing. And now, hello and see you all in the videos. Next.